Chapter 7 Gauntlet. Spitfire was still in disbelief of what Manuel had just done. Not only had he had the nerve to grab her arm, but the way he had spoken she didn't like either. "Well, what's going on? Has something happened? Spit it out already!" Manuel snapped. She didn't get the chance. Lights shined in through the shop's windows. Next, there was the sounds of shattering glass and gunfire. Everyone dove into cover, Manuel tackling Spitfire to the floor, shielding her with his own body as bullets riddled through the tofu shop's broken windows, perforating the walls. Dust hung in the air as glass shattered around them from the food displays, where Bunta stored the fried tofu when it was ready to sell. Spitfire closed her eyes tightly as a typhoon of bullets went through the shop. It seemed it would last for eternity, but it stopped after 2 agonizing minutes. Manuel looked over his shoulder out the broken front window of the tofu shop. He saw a bunch of thugs with submachine guns speed off in a van, but not before one of them threw a CD case through the broken window. It landed right next to Manuel and Spitfire. Manuel saw the words, "Ransom for the Speedmaster's allies," written in marker on the case.
"Is everyone alright?"
Bunta asked after the thugs drove off. Everyone nodded or gave a thumbs up.
"Thank God. I'm calling the police. What the hell was that all about?"
Bunta snapped as everyone got out of cover. He went through the shop to the phone. Shards of glass and sheetrock were everywhere.
"My shop! Look at this goddamn mess!"
Bunta fumed as he picked up the phone's receiver, dialing the number for the police. Manuel got off of Spitfire, wincing as he felt a pain emanating from his arm. He had been grazed by one of the stray bullets. Spitfire noticed the wound as well.
"Oh no! You've been hit!"
she said, breathless. "Yeah, I noticed," Manuel replied, picking up the CD case as if he wasn't fazed. It had a disc inside, a DVD. He turned to the group. "We'd better go upstairs. The police will be here any minute, and I highly doubt they will react calmly to seeing Spitfire. The thugs also left us this DVD. I think we should see what's on it." "Let's do that after the police get here and do their job," Takumi said. "I'll tell Dad to meet us upstairs, too, after he's off the phone." The group nodded in agreement. Several hours later, Takumi's bedroom, upstairs level of Fujiwara Tofu. Most of the police had just left. Takumi just popped the DVD into his computer's disk drive. The drive whirred and clicked. The group gathered around him as the DVD playing software came up on the screen. There was a beep, and the video status said ready. "Play it," Manuel said. Takumi moved the cursor over the play button using the mouse, and it clicked. The Linux Mint desktop disappeared on the screen as the video player went to full screen mode. At first, there was nothing but snow. Then, a face popped up. It was Kaido Kirifuda, the father of Manuel's rival, Yuya Kirifuda. And it looked like he was at some sort of warehouse.
"Greetings, Manuel, so-called Speedmaster,"
he said, voice cold as frozen steel.
"I believe you've taken something that I want back. My legacy. So I'll get straight to the point."
Kaido pointed at the area behind him. The camera moved from Kaido's perspective to view that area. It was dark. Then lights came on, revealing a sickening sight. Throttle, Moto, Vinny, and Stoker stood, chained up in a barred cage. From what they could see, they had been beaten and tortured. They had burns and cuts all over them, and Throttle didn't have his specs, which meant he couldn't see anything. There was also a strange device in the camera's sights.
I want a shot at you myself,
Kaido explained.
We'll have an outrun contest. The rules are simple. Whoever can outrun the other to the vanishing point wins. If you blow your engine or have any other type of malfunction that prevents you from racing, you automatically lose. I've set up the race site already. We will have mobile cameras on the Wangan. It will broadcast our race across the internet. It's time to see who's truly the fastest. If you win, you get your precious friends back. If you lose, I get your car, which I so look forward to tearing up piece by piece. Oh, and if you don't show up, well, they'll all be put to sleep.
Kaido got out a syringe. No one needed to be told what was in it. They already had a good enough idea.
Oh, and I also forgot to mention, I have their precious terraforming device too. So if you don't race me, I'll destroy that as well, which will doom the rodent race to extinction if the escaped female hasn't told you already. You have 2 weeks to prepare, so take this as a warning not to waste your time.
He snapped his fingers, and the next moment an electric current was running through the cage. The biker mice could not suppress the screams of pain from the voltage being pumped through the cage and into their battered bodies. Spitfire's spirit broke right then and there. She buried her face in Manuel's chest, crying. Manuel held her close, unable to take his eyes off the video feed. His face twisted in rage and disgust. He could not believe Kaido had went this low. Akio and Reina were also in shock. Reina had never witnessed such cruelty in her life, nor had Akio. Kaido had clearly gone mad with vengeance. Kaido snapped his fingers again, and the current stopped. The mice were left trying to catch their breaths.
Remember, 2 weeks from now, on the Wangan, Fernandez.
Kaido snarled. With that, the video cut. Everyone was silent. Takami's room was as quiet as a graveyard. Then, Itsuki spoke up.
Manuel, what are you gonna do?
He asked. Manuel responded after a few painstaking seconds. I'm gonna kick his ass and break his legs, he said, his voice filled with rage.
But we don't even know what he'll be driving! We all know that Karafuda plays dirty! How can we expect to win this time around?
Ikutani debated. Bunta sighed.
I know what he's going to drive. He'll use his old Countach from when he ran in the Speedmaster competition. That old fossil is something he takes too much pride in. He won't be able to resist showing it off. Sadly, it has power too, even though it's a fossil of a supercar. It has a Quattro valve V12.
A V12? Takami exclaimed. How can he beat that? I'll find a way, Manuel said bitterly. Itsuki looked up at Manuel.
How? How in the hell are you going to beat a Quattro valve V12? It's a bigger and better engine! It produces more power than even your V8 Cammer! How are you going to beat it?
Manuel went over to the window, looking out through the closed blinds as the sun began to rise. His next sentence shocked everyone. Akio, take me to see Katami. Manuel's eyes narrowed as he turned and looked at Akio in the eye. I'm going to make a deal with the devil.